Hello and welcome back to FM21. We're back with Watford for today's Carabao Cup semi-final clash against West Brom. A huge game today, a fantastic chance to get into the Carabao Cup final and potentially win some silverware despite still being in the Championship in our first season. And we're especially confident coming in off the back of that fantastic 5-0 win against Man City and 3 more wins in the league running up to this game. We had 2 fairly scrappy 1-0 wins against Norwich and Millwall, followed by a brilliant showing away at Swansea where we won 4-0. Really good performance, that one. And of course we are now in the January transfer window, so we have a few new faces to introduce you to a bit later on. But first of all, let's catch up with the 3 league games. Starting off with this scrappy 1-0 win at home to Norwich. Not the best performance all round this. The defence certainly had some work to do and played pretty well. It's the first league game in a long time that I can remember where we had slightly less of the possession, although we did have plenty of chances and just couldn't put any to bed. Tim Krul in the Norwich goal had a very good game, to be fair to him, but at the end of the day it's the result that matters, and thankfully we do have quality players that we can rely on, like Vinicius Jr., who got our 1 goal in this game. So Keener with the free kick, sends the ball in, true stick on at the back post, hits the crossbar, and thankfully Vinny is there to follow it up past Tim Krul. At the end of the day, we know that Norwich are a side with plenty of quality in the Championship, although they are underachieving a bit this season, currently in 9th place. And it's certainly a positive that even on an off day, we're able to scrape a win. Next up, we had a trip down to the Den for a game against Millwall, always a tricky place to go, and so it proved for us. Very similar to the Norwich game, this one, pretty scrappy, an early goal deciding the outcome. Pedro in particular really struggled up top. Isaac's success did fare a little better when he came on, but not massively. A pretty solid and unspectacular performance all round, except for Ugarte, who got the goal and the man of the match. Chalobah with the ball, knocks it back to Navarro. Navarro coming forward, plays it into Hughes. Over to Ugarte, a lovely first time shot into the top right hand corner, excellent goal. Really good finish. To be fair, this was a slightly weaker team. I did take this a bit for granted, seeing it as a good excuse to give some of our fringe players a bit of a run out. So Sema and Marquez played reasonably well. Navarro, Kabasele came in as well. But again, I think here we've got to be happy with the win and just hope for a stronger reaction in the next game, which we certainly got. It was a 4-0 win at Swansea. 4 different goal scorers for this one. Success, Keener, Sarr and Hughes all getting on the score sheet. Success earning his start after Pedro's poor performance at Millwall, and pleased to see a very good performance from Dominguez Keener in that attacking mid role. I definitely feel like he could be contributing a few more goals like he did here, which is excellent news. Hopefully we'll see more of that. And you may also have noticed a new face in this lineup, Dennis Vavro, who we've signed from Lazio after spotting him on the transfer list. We've signed him for 3 million just 1 year after Lazio signed him for 9 million. What a cracking bit of business by Lazio. As a defender, I think he's just got some excellent stats. I mean, his heading and tackling are brilliant. He's a strong lad, he's got a good jump, he's brave as well. He's not the most technical player, but that's fine. We don't need to be playing him as a ball-playing defender. Quite happy to have him as just a plain old central defender or even a no-nonsense centre-back. I think this could be a really good bit of business for us. In my eyes, he's definitely a Premier League defender. He's still only 24. His value has already shot up to 10 million after signing him for 3 million. And we've picked up a player of some quality who can already improve somewhat as well. It means that some of our other young fringe defenders can go out on loan, such as Searauter, who's not been able to squeeze his way into the team. I think this could be a really good piece of business for us, and if we do decide to sell at some point, I'm pretty sure we can make some good money from him as well. So very happy with this one. But back to the game, and it was a much better performance from us this time. Will Hughes opening the scoring just after the half-hour mark. So Keener on the ball, sends the ball out to Ngakia on the wing, looking to beat his man and put in the cross, which he does, and the incoming Hughes is able to volley it past the keeper. Excellent team move, that one. Very nice. So 1-0 at half-time. We were comfortably on top, so I did tell them to go for it a little bit more. It's Mela Sarr getting on the score sheet once again for our second goal. Vinny with the ball, lays it to Mitchell. Back to Vinny. Some nice passing between Chalobah, Mitchell and Vinny there. Hughes gets involved, sends the ball in at the back post, and there's Sarr, unmarked, to head past the keeper. 2-0. Just 5 minutes later, it was that man Dominguez Keener with his man of the match performance grabbing his goal. Vinny beats his man. Very nice play. Lays the ball to Success in the middle. 1-2 with Vinny. Keener's through on goal here, and from the edge of the area is able to beat the keeper with a lovely shot. 3-0. And to cap what has been a very, very positive performance indeed right before this game against West Brom, Isaac's Success grabs his goal. Marcus breaking free here, he's got space, lays the ball to Keener. Keener's still got room in front of him, but spots Success in acres of space in front of the keeper, takes a shot on his right foot and sends it to the keeper's left. Excellent goal and a 4-0 win. Really good stuff. So loads of positives that we can take into this game against West Brom today. It's going to be a tough one for sure, but we've already proven that we can beat Premiership teams. So far in the Cup we have beaten Fulham and of course a fantastic win against Man City. But before the big match we do have some other news to catch you up on, as well as some new players to introduce. It's been yet another award-winning month for Watford FC, with Vinicius Jr. picking up the Young Player of the Month, with Ugarte in second place. Ugarte can probably feel a little unlucky about it, as he does have a higher average rating than Vinny, but 7 goals in 7 appearances for Vinny just tips it over the edge. Fantastic play. For the first time this season, we've also won the Goal of the Month award for Ismail Assar against Huddersfield. Chalobah picking up 3rd place for his screamer against Birmingham. Let's take a look at Chalobah's first. So it's Mitchell with the throw-in over to Ugarte. Chalobah picks up the ball. Mitchell lays it off to him, looks up, and yeah, what a fantastic goal that was. Kind of unlucky not to win, really. Excellent. But the winning goal was Sarr against Huddersfield. Sarr with the ball in his own half. This is the goal where he does it all himself, no help at all. Dribbles it past pretty much the whole team, and a lovely shot past the keeper. Excellent solo goal, worthy winner. And once again, with a 100% win record, we have won Manager of the Month for December. That's 3 out of 4 now, not bad at all. November the only blip with those 2 losses against Bristol City and QPR, but 3 out of 4 is nothing to sniff at all. I will certainly take that. An excellent achievement for us so far. Now on to the transfers, and things are looking pretty busy for us. We've got lots of players in demand, some of whom we're not quite ready to let go of yet. Others like Capu and Deeney, who we are trying to get rid of at the moment, but we are only 5 days in, there's plenty of time yet, and as I've said, we have brought in some new faces. You've already met Dennis Favreau in defence, very happy with that one. We do have quite a crowded defence now, as I brought back Ben Wilmot from his loan at Brentford, where he just wasn't really playing very much at all. They do also, of course, have Tom Deli-Bashiru out on loan with them. Second in the Championship at the moment, our biggest rivals, but as he's getting game time, I've not quite decided whether we'll call him back yet. We probably wouldn't fit him in the squad here. I'd just end up loaning him out elsewhere instead. We'll make a decision on him before the end of the window. So one of our other new faces is Grrrwood. Now this transfer was already in place before I joined, but I'm very happy to have him here. Looks like a very promising player. Can play on either wing or up front. He's only 18 years old, from Guinea. 4 caps and a goal for them already, not bad at all. Bags of flair, loads of determination, 20 for both. I love to see that. Some good tricky technicals already, good passer of the ball, excellent dribbling. Hopefully we'll be able to build up his speed and stamina a little bit as well, as he's not the fastest, but he's definitely a player that I love to see in this Watford squad. He's the type of player that we want in our under-23s at the moment. He is wanted in on loan from a couple of Spanish clubs in the 2nd division. We'll give it some thought as to whether we actually want to loan him out or not. I do actually think we can play him a little bit for the second half of this season. And we've bagged ourselves another excellent young striker, Mateus Arezzo. Quite a well-known promising youngster already, but he was picked up by our scouts in Uruguay. Only 18 years old and picked up for 1.6 million. Excellent stats already, really good stuff. Good header, good finisher, not a slouch either, pretty fast, determined, just exactly what I like to see from a young 18-year-old striker. He is brilliant. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get his work permit this time, so we are going to have to send him out on loan for the second half of this season. But I do think this is just a matter of time. He is too good a player to not earn his work permit, and I do actually think we could use him next season alongside João Pedro as well. Very, very excited about this signing. 1.6 million is a steal. Certainly someone that we can make heaps of money on in the future. Of course, we do have such a strong squad already that we have just been focusing on getting in some of these youngsters, other than Dennis Favreau, of course. And we have also picked up another promising young Brazilian who we'll be able to pick up in July. It's Renier, who's 17 years old, from Santos, who we've picked up for just under $1 million. Similar story to Toure, really. Some excellent dribbling stats, some good potential here. Not the finished article yet at all, but with the right sort of guidance and a couple of good loans, would certainly develop into a very nice player. Potentially a Brazilian international as well. He's a no-brainer risk, although that work rate isn't the best, and his composure certainly needs some work as well, as does his stamina. Still a young lad, only 17, bags of potential. Excited to have him join us and take a closer look in July. So that's our business so far. We probably need to have a couple of outgoings before we can make any more signings. Some of these fringe players I'm quite prepared to let go, either on loan or a transfer. Ciarauta will probably be heading out on loan, as will Ken Sema. Perica also looks to be leaving the club on loan, which I'm perfectly fine with. We've barely used him this season. And as for the others, we'll just have to ward off some transfer bids for some players that we just don't want to leave. Will Hughes in particular, we certainly want to keep hold of. Ismail Assar as well is always linked with transfers away, but we certainly want to keep him here. So that's where we're we are at the moment, a very nice looking squad. Happy with this, and if we can get a couple of outgoings for these fringe players, we might be able to strengthen either the first team or the youth squad a little bit more. Yeah, good times for Watford really. It's already a much better transfer window in these 5 days than Watford have had in real life, so I will certainly take that. Right, and it's on to today's huge game against West Brom in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. This is a really, really good chance for us to get to a final. Although I did expect to win the league, I certainly didn't expect to get this far in any of the cups. A familiar looking lineup for us. Foster in goal, Mitchell, Trustekong, Cathcart and Ngakia along the back, Glazer and Hughes in midfield, Vinicius Jr, Sarr on the wings, and Dominguez Quina in attacking mid supporting João Pedro. I see no reason at all why we shouldn't play our normal positive football. It worked against Man City, let's see how we do here. It does look like a fairly strong West Brom side with a couple of reserves chucked in as well. Jonathan Bond, the former Watford youth keeper, is in, obviously their cup goalkeeper. Ivanovic, formerly of Chelsea, in at right back by the looks of it. Jake Livermore, Kieran Gibbs, Dean Ganna and Carlin Grant up front for them as well. I honestly think we should have more than enough quality to match these guys, so fingers crossed for a good performance. And here we are back at the Vic. Excellent recent form. 5 wins on the trot. I think it's actually about 11 wins in a row. West Brom, not so hot, but matching our formation. Carlin Grant kicks off for West Brom. Gibbs with the throw-in. It's a long one, but Ngakia is there to pick it up. Quina with the ball to Hughes. Nice positive ball to Sarr. Here he is for a shot. Go on, take it. Oh, and a good save from Bond. Not the best shot from Sarr, but an excellent attacking move anyway. Sawyers with lots of room. Back to Kipre. A long ball forward. Ngakia heads clear. Up to Sarr. And it's a chance for a counter. Here he goes. He's got room in front of him. Plays Pedro through. Pedro! Yes! Excellent goal. Really nice counter-attacking move, that one. Sarr didn't look like he was fast enough to beat his man, but spots Pedro in front of him. Lovely ball, and a first-time shot from Pedro past Bond. Ngakia heads it clear up to Sarr. Sarr brings it across the halfway line. Here we go. Plays Pedro through, and a lovely first-time shot past Bond on those one-on-ones. Excellent stuff. Really positive start for us, that. Getting a goal early, always helpful against a Premiership team. Should calm those nerves a little bit. And it's Dieng with the corner for West Brom. Good ball in. Foster punches it clear. Harper picks up the ball. Oh, Sawyers with the shot. Excellent block. And Glazer hoofs it clear. And here comes Grosicki taking on Ngakia. Forced back to Sawyers. And Gibbs has loads of room on the left. Ngakia again stands up to him well, and they're forced backward once again. Harper in the middle, nice passing to Carlin Grant. And that's really their first decent chance of the game. Just an excellent finish from Carlin Grant, to be fair. It's difficult because I think defensively we dealt with that pretty well. Ngakia standing up to his men on several occasions. They just found some space here between the midfield and the defence. Cathcart dragged out of position somewhat, and Grant with a free shot at goal. Vinny taking his man on. This is what I like to see. Here he goes. Oh, and doesn't get past Sawyers. A good tackle. And West Brom have the chance to counter. Good tackle from Glazer. Stops the attack immediately, and it's our turn again. Ngakia and Sarr on the right. Here comes Sarr. Lays it off to Ngakia. Looks to get the cross in perhaps. Nope, lays it back to Glazer. Ngakia with the cross this time. Vinny's there. Yes! Excellent cross from Ngakia. And Vinny, simple header past the keeper. Bond doesn't get out in time. Really nice move, this one. Just took their time. Ngakia lays the ball back to Glazer. Spots Ngakia with space. A first-time cross on his weak foot. And Vinny beats the on-rushing Bond with the header. 2-1. We're back in front. Back to Hughes. All the way back to Cathcart. Probably the right decision. He didn't really have anyone moving for him. A good pass up to Pedro, and Pedro lays it off to Ngakia on the wing. Here we go, Ngakia. Looks to get the cross in, which he does. Sarr's there. Oh, and the ball bounces past Sarr over to Vinny at the back post. Is that going to count? I hope that is. Excellent stuff. It looks like it stands. I'm not sure what happened there. I think Sarr was fouled. Here we go. Here's Ngakia with the cross. Looks like it's going to Sarr at the near post. Sarr, I think, is pushed by Livermore, but the ball falls to Vinny at the back stick, who slots it home. Really, really good stuff. Grant with the kickoff for West Brom. Back to Livermore. Kipre up to Harper. Sawyers now. Lovely ball intercepted by Sarr. Lays it up to Glazer. Here comes Sarr again. He's taken on his man this time. Come on, Sarr. Ball through to Pedro. Pedro's there. Oh, good save from Bond. I don't think Pedro read that pass very well, but he was able to get there first and get the shot underway. Mitchell with the throw-in. It's Vinny. Vinny tackled by Ivanovic, but Hughes picks it up. Mitchell with loads of space. Looks to get the cross in. Across to Vinny. Back to Mitchell. To Sarr. And it's 4-1 in the first half. Fantastic performance. We've really turned this around after conceding their equaliser, and we're back on top now. Hughes with a great ball to Mitchell with loads of space. Ball to Vinny. Can't do anything with it, but sends it back to Mitchell. Spots Sarr in space on the penalty spot. And a cracking finish past Bond. Really, really positive stuff, this. I mean, I know we're in form and playing well, but this is still a Premier League team that we're beating once again. And the stats say it all, really. Loads of possession, a much higher expected goals than West Brom, and plenty of shots. 9 on target as well after 13 shots. Really good stuff. Very pleased with this and how clinical we're being. No point making any changes just yet. It's going so well, so we'll leave it as it is. Cathcart on the ball. Lays it up to Glazer, over to Sarr on the wing. He's got Ngakia in front of him. Here we go, come on Sarr, taking it himself, and a good tackle from Grrrwood. Gibbs with the throw-in, up to Krovinovic. Back to Gibbs, Gallagher. Come on lads, force them back. Good ball into Diang, and Colin Grant is through. Oh, and that was clumsy from Ekong, I think it was. Poor positioning, lost his man. Excellent pass from Diang, but the space was there, it shouldn't have been. Krovinovic with a nice ball to Diang. Simple header, and Ekong brought forward. Simple for Grant past the keeper. That is disappointing. With how good our attack has been, the defence has not been that excellent, really. I can't remember the last time we conceded 2 goals. West Brom with the throw again. It's Ivanovic up to Krovinovic. Diang on the ball now, leads it back to Harper. They are finding some space, but they've lost the ball to Vinny. Keep it calm, lads, keep it calm. Just keep the ball. Glazer, back to Ekong. A little bit of a dangerous pass, that. Vinny to Hughes. And Glazer with loads of space in the middle. Really shocking pass from Glazer. Really poor. It's totally unnecessary. And Grant's through yet again. This is bad. Oh, and he's got his 3rd goal. So we've let Carl and Grant have a hat-trick from basically nothing. I mean, this has gone from really good attack to just awful defence. Really nice ball, but no one marking Carl and Grant. I've literally just told him to do that. I've just told him to keep very tight on Carl and Grant at all times. Clumsy stuff. Right, I'm going to have to make some changes. Dan Glazer played an absolute stinker of a pass just then. Not happy with that at all. So we're going to bring Ugarte on instead. Ekong is usually excellent, but is having a poor one today. Carl and Grant repeatedly beating him. So on comes Dennis Vavro, hopefully to add some solidity at the back. I was hoping to take off Sarr as he's looking a bit tired. In fact, we do have a couple of tired players in this squad, but I need to see out this game now. 4-3 is not ideal at all. Vavro up to Vinny. Here comes Vinny. Tucks it inside, over to Sarr. Sarr's got space. Come on, Sarr, let's see a better effort than the last one. Here's the cross. Vinny's there. Oh, and Vinny with the double shot. Saved by Bond. A really good save. Bit of a risk this, but I do want to see the game out, so I'm switching to a 4-3-3. We've taken off Sarr, put on Chalobah. We're going to send Dominguez Keener out to the right wing, and we're going to drop Ugarte back into defensive midfield with Chalobah and Hughes ahead of him. Fingers crossed this is enough to see out the match. Here we go. This should be full time, barring something disastrous. It's a throw from Ngakia, and it's full time. Well, we did make that extremely hard for ourselves, much harder than it needed to be, but we've emerged 4-3 winners. If you ignore the defensive mistakes at the back, it was a good performance all round, really. And to be fair to Colin Grant, a 9 rating and a hat-trick against this Watford team is nothing to sniff at all. An excellent performance from him. For our lot, 61% possession is good, a really good passes completed rate, but it was just a couple of really sloppy ones in the end that cost us. It's easy to get a bit ahead of ourselves sometimes, but we have to remember we are still a championship club. West Brom are in the Premiership, they do have good resources and an excellent team, and they put up a hell of a fight, to be honest. Our midfield today was uncharacteristically poor. Hughes not having a good game. Glazer had a bit of a stinker, which is disappointing because we did bring him in after his good performance in the last game. Sarr and Vinny, as usual, are star players. Sarr in particular, excellent considering how tired he is, with a goal and an assist. Vinny with 2 goals and Pedro with the first as well. The defence, for the most part, were good. It was just those lapses really cost us. I mean, West Brom had 3 shots on targets and 3 goals. They were just super clinical today. Well, that was a real tough game, but at the end of the day, we've made it to Wembley. We're in the final of the Carabao Cup. Oof. And in the end, it was a very comfortable 4-0 win for Chelsea against Bournemouth. So we will be playing Chelsea in the final at Wembley on the 28th of February. So we've got about 2 months until then to prepare. That is going to be an incredibly tricky game. I'm certainly not expecting a repeat of the Man City game, which was just ridiculous. This is going to be an incredibly tough fixture. But we've got a little time to think about it first. We've got a transfer window to finish as well. So let's take a look at the schedule. Our next game is in the FA Cup third round against Sheffield Wednesday, before league games against Huddersfield, Barnsley, Stoke and QPR. I think for the next episode we're going to jump ahead to that Coventry game at the beginning of February. That way we can recap everything that's happened in the transfer window. I am certainly expecting it to be a busy one with quite a few changes, and hopefully we can see an extension of this incredible run. 12 wins on the trot. Certainly looks doable, but we will have to be careful. As always, the championship schedule is packed, but towards the end of the month at least we do have a week in between the Stoke and QPR games, and then another week between QPR and Coventry. A well-needed rest for our boys, because that again looks like a horrible period in the run-up to the Carabao Cup final. We're going to need to use all the depth that we can for that one. But there we are, Carabao Cup finalists. Who would have thought it, eh? Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please do like, please subscribe. It all helps a lot. Make sure you keep an eye out for some of the new series that we've got coming as well. The first few episodes of A Season With have been recorded and they're on the way soon, so do keep an eye out for that. If any of you have had some cup success in the first season from an unlikely team, please do let me know in the comments below. I love reading about some of your saves. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!